The Democratic National Committee is not exactly feeling all that democratic these days. On Monday, they took the first step in ousting Vice Chair David Hogg, as well as another of its vice chairs, claiming that, oh, we messed up the election, we got to redo it. Oh, interesting. Now, the DNC's Credentials Committee voted on Monday to nullify the results of the February election in which Hogg and Pennsylvania State Representative Malcolm Kenyatta had won 2 of the 3 vice chair positions. Now, Hogg has publicly called for primary challenges to longtime safe incumbents. So that, of course, has made these very same incumbents pretty angry. They're not happy with this one. Now, the vote followed a procedural complaint from another potential vice chair that one of the losing candidates made, challenging the way that the election was determined. Now, for me, if you believe that this is strictly because of procedural issues, then you do not know the DNC. Okay. Again, as I mentioned, that they are pretty angry at David Hogg for wanting to get his group to primary safe Democrats because they have not stood up against Donald Trump. That means the party leaders do not want to fight Donald Trump. I mean, honestly. Now, the committee did eventually vote to recommend the DNC hold new ballots for Hogg and Kenyatta's vice chair positions. Now, Hogg responded by saying that the DNC has taken its first steps to remove him from his position. Here's his quote. While this vote was based on how the DNC conducting its officers' elections, which I had nothing to do with, it is impossible to ignore the broader context of my work to reform the party, which loomed large over this vote. The DNC has pledged to remove me, and this vote has provided an avenue to fast-track that effort. I think he's right. I think he's right about them. This, of course, despite the party leaders saying that, oh, no, you know what? No, there was a procedural issue, but also we really don't like the way that David Hogg is trying to get involved in primaries. You know, we're supposed to be neutral in primaries. Oh, interesting. Look, I would be in favor of that if the party had actually stayed neutral in any of the very important presidential primaries that have happened within the last 12 years. Okay, they've gotten involved multiple times. I mean, anybody remember Debbie Wasserman Schultz? What she did? And she was ousted from her position for putting her thumb on the scale for Hillary Clinton. But of course, when they tried to elevate Hillary Clinton, well, a lot of people turned their back on that, and it wasn't really important to them. You know, because, hey, look, we got to get Hillary Clinton, and then now we've got to get Kamala Harris and, you know, support her and put her without a primary. And look, full disclosure here, right? At the time, in 2024, right after Biden had stepped down and named Kamala Harris, I was one of the people, and again, full transparency here, because I'm admitting how effing wrong I was. I thought, we're already too late into the process. We gotta go with it. Okay. She's got the war chest. It's going to be really, really hard to hold a primary. I was absolutely wrong on that. We should have held a primary. It should have been a primary. I don't care. I effed up on that one. So I own that. All right. I'm going to own that 100%. I messed up on that. Okay. So, yes, we should have held a primary, and we should have not let the DNC get involved in those primaries. That said, now what we have is a situation where, yes, a DNC official is wanting to get involved in doing primaries, and to support ousting these older incumbents. And you know what? I actually do think that's a great idea, because I think at this point, the Democratic Party is so unresponsive to actual people who are not in power right now. Okay. They're so unresponsive to the people that, look, they're at 27%. Okay. 27% approval. This is after all of the damage that Donald Trump has done to our system, to our government, to the people. And still, people will look at the Democratic Party and be like, no, these guys suck. You got to do something. And right now, David Hogg is the only person who is actually out there. Okay, he's the only one that's in a position of power saying, yes, let's change things. Let's do something different. Okay. But again, critics are right when they point out that all of this, their reaction to this, shows the Democrats' inability to even accept mild criticism. You dare criticize me? No, we can't have it.
Can't let that happen.
We got to get rid of you. Okay, how dare you criticize Democrats? Well, look at Donald Trump. Look at who enabled him. Okay. And here's the thing, right? David Hogg is not some wild-eyed lefty, pro-socialist communist. No, he's ideologically aligned with the party overall. All right? But at the same time, he is a young person who understandably feels that the party has let him down. Okay? Because they haven't been fighting for the people. All right? And he's right. He's right. They have refused to meaningfully resist Donald Trump as he continues to trigger numerous constitutional crises while seeking to suspend Americans' fundamental constitutional rights, like the right of due process. Now, you could argue that, all this DNC infighting, that gets in the way of fighting Donald Trump. But unfortunately, that's not true. Okay? Because the Democrats have had ample time to fight Donald Trump and have really kind of refused to do it. All right? That outside of sending some strongly worded letters from Chuck Schumer, oh my God, that'll get him. That'll stop a fascist. No. Look, at the end of the day, right now, the party is showing you that certain politicians in the safe seats, right, holding on to their own personal power is more important to them than actually representing the people and more, winning against Republicans. I mean, isn't the point of the Democratic Party to help their members win and become a majority so they can pass good policy to help the people? Apparently not. Not at this point. They're too busy serving the donors, too busy serving AIPAC, okay, as they flood our political system with money in order to get more John Fettermans that are going to be totally fine with genociding everyone in Gaza so that Trump can then build Gaza-Lago. All right, so that's what's going on here. That's what's going on here. And yeah, I know some of you probably hate it when I get critical about the Democrats, but we wouldn't be in this position right now with a fascist government had the Democrats actually been strong and more responsive to the people. And so that's it. That's the reality of the situation. Now, that said, if David Hogg ends up getting booted, well, he could still run again for vice chair, okay, according to the reports. But I do wonder, though, how much they're going to attempt to try to put their thumbs on the scale against him. I mean, it's not like they haven't done that before. And if they do, I mean, yes, he could lose. But what if he ends up still winning? It is entirely possible. And I'm sure if that happens, we're going to see an absolute meltdown from the establishment. Oh, it'd be great. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon in order to get notified whenever a new video is released. And if you want to support independent, progressive media through this difficult time where it seems like everybody is shutting down, you can become a member on our YouTube page, you can become a subscriber on Facebook, or you can go to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf. Thank you.